Hello everyone! So after Yann did his talk at the church weekend away on YouTube, I felt that I wanted to share my testimony, and after a little push and encouragement to do it, I decided to go for it, to share God's goodness and His love. So even though I've been going to church ever since I was little, one of the biggest turning points in my journey of faith was about 8 years ago when I got baptised and confirmed when I was 14 years old. This is when I really started to understand what it meant to follow Christ. Ever since this day, I have learned to trust in God even during the hard times, because in His own mysterious way, He has shown me that He is always with us even when it doesn't feel like He is there. And His love never lets us down. Through various seasons of trials, I learned that God never allows pain without a purpose, and they just brought me closer to Him, especially when I was going through a really bad phase of anxiety and depression. About 4 years ago, I was at a really low point and I was struggling lots with mental health. I was lost, I was self-harming, and at one stage I even stopped eating for days, which meant I ended up in hospital because my weight got so low. I remember this day very well. It was also the beginning of my journey to seeing life with a whole new perspective. Before this day, I genuinely believed that I didn't have a purpose. I had no aims or goals, and I couldn't see myself going anywhere in the future. Because I'm just me, which isn't that much. But ever since this hospital trip, God has shown me His huge amount of love for me, and ever since, this love has been a rock for getting me through. During this time, I kept reminding myself of Jeremiah 29:11, which says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." This is also one of the first Bible verses I learned and memorized. It gave me hope that God has a plan for my life. Even though I'm just me, He will be with me, and He already has a plan, even though I didn't know what it was. During the past few years, I have been amazed by the ways in which God has used me. I have been doing things which I would never have imagined myself doing before. Becoming involved with children's work at church, along with volunteering at Southwood Beach Mission for the past 3 years, has been a huge blessing and a privilege to share God's love with the little ones so they can get to know Him and draw close to Him too. But most of all, showing God's goodness through my Bible journaling has been amazing. For those of you who don't know, I like to make art from Bible verses, and then I share this on social media to encourage others too. This passion first started during my really low time of mental health. I started to write down all my thoughts and feelings to get them out, and then these turned into drawings, and then one day I just thought, why not share my drawings with others so they can get to know God's love as well? So then I set up my own journaling Instagram page, and it has been a huge help. It's how I like to spend time with God. It eases my anxiety and calms my mind so much. But as well as it being beneficial to me, it also encouraged me so much to hear that just by me spending time listening to worship and doing my journaling and then posting it on social media, it encourages others too. A few of my non-Christian friends who follow my Instagram page have said that it has made them think that maybe there is something there and maybe God is real. Also, just the other day, I found out that my post had also helped someone else who is really struggling with their mental health during lockdown. It blesses me so much to know that my journaling has that much of an impact on other people, and it helps me to feel like I can make a difference in my own way. During these past few years, God has brought me out of the darkness and into His amazing light. I now live life with a whole new meaning, and I know that whatever troubles I face, I have a God who is never going to let me down. And when I am faced with a problem or my anxious and self-doubt thoughts start to fill my mind, I back them up with God's words. As Psalm 139 says, "For you created my inmost being, you knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful, and I know that full well." This verse always comforts and reassures me. It reminds me that I was made by God. He knows me and that I am deeply loved by Him. It reminds me of my identity in Christ. And a quote which also reminds me of this truth is that you were made by God and God doesn't make mistakes. I know that without God I am nothing, but with him I am so much more. God saves and rescues. Nobody is ever too lost to be saved. So that's my testimony, and I hope it encourages some of you.